mukhang mahihirapan dito ang EVOS. Pero, hindi pa naman magiging ano yan. Siyempre may sagot dyan at napag-aralan katulad ng sinabi mo, napag-aralan ng EVOS kung ano man yung magiging galaw dito ng RRQ.
Oo. So, excited na ako dito, no? Lalo, this is M1 World Championship.
Ito yung pinakaiintay eh. Pinakaiintay ng mga
grabe.
tropa
Ito
natin
yung galawan talaga na global, no? Mga pangmalupitan, no?
Tama ka naman dyan. Ito yung mga, ito yung mga pinaka-inaabangan ng mga tropa nating Pilipino dyan.
Totoo. Kasi dito talaga, ano na to, kalaban mo, ibang bansa.
Yun, yung parang nire-representa mo na yung buong Pilipinas para sa laban.
Pero pare nga, Irv, pag-usapan natin, magkano ba yung prize pool dito ng M1 World Championship?
Yung prize pool dito, tumataginting lang naman ng almost, magkano ba to? Teka, titignan natin ang malupitan.
Compute natin.
Kasi dollars to. So, kakaiba pagka inano natin.
Ito, balita ko, in pesos
in pesos.
Yung prize pool nila, 12.5 million.
12.5? Makakabili na ako ng ilang bahay nun eh.
Grabe. Prize pool yan
Prize pool.
Tapos syempre, bukod sa prize pool, kapag ikaw yung naging champion dito, yung team, kung sinong team, anong bansa?
Kung anong bansa yung magiging champion dito.
Makakakuha lang naman. In pesos to
Magkano?
Excited ka na ba?
Excited ako dyan.
4 million pesos!
4 million pesos!
Grabe! Di ba sa mga palaro sa mga sa Pilipinas, puro 1 million lang.
Tsaka sino mag-aakala na yung larong Mobile Legends, magbibigay sa'yo ng grabing pera.
Kasi ito talaga, nagra-rise na talaga esports as a
professional na talaga. Kumbaga kung dati, pinapagalitan ka ng nanay mo pag naglalaro ka. Ngayon, sige nak, maglaro ka dyan. Ako na bahala.
Ka pa, gutom ka ba nak?
Gutom ka ba? Sige, ako na bahala sa pagkain mo.
The point system.
So, ito.
With 3 points awarded for a 2-0 match, 2 points for a 2-1 match, 1 point for a 1-2 match, and 0 points for a 0-2 match. With that, the top 2 teams of each group will proceed to the playoffs, with the first place teams in the upper bracket and the second place teams in the lower bracket. These 8 teams will then go through a best of 3 double elimination format.
Yan yung
Day 1.
Day 1 natin.
All 8 teams will play on the first day of the playoffs.
So this is our
All
bracket
matches
for
will be
today.
played in a best of 3 format. Day 2. The lower bracket matches will be played in a best of 3 format.
Bukas.
The winner bracket finals will be played in best of 5 format. Loser going into the lower bracket finals the next day. Day 3. The lower bracket finals will be played in a best of 5 format as the starting match of the day. The grand finals will then be played in best of 7 format. The upper bracket team will be given side pick priority first.
Grabe naman yun.
Grand finals, best of 7. Paguran
And with that, the first ever world champion of Mobile Legends Bang Bang will be crowned. Tune in starting this 11th November to witness history being made.
Yan! So, eto na nga. Talagang history will be made pagtapos nito.
Pagtapos nito, automatic na masasabi nyo sa sarili nyo na Mobile Legends, nandun na tayo, umaano na tayo sa taas.
Pang-ano na to talagang, kumbaga,
parang gano'n na, makarasa gano'n na tayo.
Diba? Worlds yan
Tsaka kakaiba dito yung magiging, ako na-excite ako, best of 5. Tapos best of 7 para tayo nag-ano nito. Malupitan. Hindi na natin alam kung sino man nanalo.
Alam mo yung laban dito, hindi lang laro.
Oo.
Pati yung ano mo
Pati yung utak mo, yung kailangan, yung maging rotation nila. Kasi ang mahirap sa best of 7. 1, 2, 3 games, goods yan. Pwede kayong makapanalo or pwede kang Pero eto na nga, ang ating magiging laban.
Yun. Unang laban is the EVOS SG and the RRQ. Best of 3 to, guys.
Best of 3 to.
And point system, round robin.
Point system.
Nakita naman natin kanina, kapag nag 3-0, may points. Pero pag 0-2, wala
parang ano lang, tama ka naman dun. Grabe. Ito nga pala, from 11 to 14, tapos 15 to 17 ang ating, pang-magic
playoffs na yan. Playoffs yan. So, ito pa yung mga susunod na laban. We have 11:30. RRQ naman.
And tignan natin ang mga lupit na teka lang. Kalmahan lang natin.
Mamaya. Pero ito pag-usapan natin.
Yung prize pool.
Ayan yung prize pool na sinasabi natin.
Oo.
Yan. Total prize pool, $250,000 in dollars yan.
Oo,
pero
dollars.
sa pesos, it is equivalent of 12 12.5 million pesos.
Grabe, 12.5. Titingnan natin.
Ayan.
Ang mga tingnan mo naman, grabe. First runner-up, $40,000.
Tapos yung champion, $80,000.
Naku.
Yan yung sinasabi ko kanina na 4 million pesos.
4 million, tapos yung pangalawa, 2 million.
Oo. Grabehan
Tapos,
talaga yan.
1 million, half a mil. Ay.
Naglaro ka lang ng ML, di ba?
Naglaro ka lang ng ML, parang yumamang ka pa.
Napakatindi.
Mabilis. Pero eto na nga, ang magiging laro natin, EVOS SG. Tapos ang kalaban nila RRQ, the next game, 11:30 tayo mag-start noon, RRQ versus VEC Fantasy Main.
Yep.
Tapos 1 PM naman natin, EVOS SG versus Impunity. Yes. Tapos 2:30 natin, Impunity KH versus VEC Fantasy Main. Sa ating 4 PM ay EVOS SG versus VEC Fantasy Main. And 5:30 natin, para sa last game natin, RRQ versus Impunity KH.
So yun nga, nagtataka kayo bakit parang uulit-ulit naglalaro kasi hindi to laglagan, guys. This is a round robin
Point system.
point system.
siya.
Nag-iipon sila dito.
Actually, 4 teams lang per bracket. Bracket A, bracket B, bracket C, bracket D. So, 4 teams lang ang maglalaro dito.
So kung sakali na may magtabla-tabla dito, paring Irv, we still gonna have fight ng 7 to
Tama.
8:30 PM.
Tiebreaker yun.
Tiebreaker yan.
So, ako excited. Di ko alam kung ano yung mararamdaman ko. Siyempre, hindi ko naman M1. Di ba? M1 na to Kakaiba tong
Kumbaga,
M1 na to.
Mamaya, yung mga lalabas sa bibig natin, mga kakaibang plays na yan.
Kakaiba na yan.
Kasi, mga kinuha yan sa iba't ibang bansa.
Totoo.
Na naglaban-laban sila sa mga teams na pambato nila sa sariling
Tama.
country. And yung mga nag-top dun sa kanilang country, eto na, nandito na, tipot-tipot sa M1.
Saka makakita tayo ng mga rotations na nakakaiba, na hindi pa natin nakikita.
Diba?
Mga heroes, mga meta. Kasi, di ba, katulad ng sinabi
May kanya-kanya kasi meta yung
Tama.
mga country.
Sa Pilipinas, alam naman natin meta dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? So, titignan natin kung sa ibang bansa, kung na-adapt ba nila yung metang ganun.
Oo nga. Tsaka, syempre, pag nanood ka dito, malay mo, matutunan mo yung meta ng iba, gamitin nyo agad.
Sa rank game.
Sa rank game,
madalas.
rank game ka.
Madalas ayun talaga ginagawa ng mga players natin Nanonood sila. Miski naman ako, nanonood talaga ako ng mga laban sa ibang bansa. Tapos after kong manood, dina-apply ko siya kung magiging effective.
Oo.
Di ba?
Kasi tapos pag naging effective yan,
diretso na.
Diretso na. Mythical glory ka na.
Mythical glory. Hanggang mga 1,000 points ka na nun.
Di ba?
Kaya dapat
Ipon na yun.
Tama ka naman dyan.
Tapos pati win rate mo.
Ay, win rate.
Malay mo mag-top global
Hero
mo, di ba? Di ba ganun yun? Ginagrind yung hero.
Ginagrind yung hero, ginagrind yung MMR. Tapos pag nag-top ka, parang, nakakatakot kalaban, di ba? Nakakatakot.
Ito pa excited ako pag nakita natin dito yung mga players, baka mamaya kanya-kanya silang top ng bansa nila.
Ayun.
Top 1 Malaysia,
di ba? Malay mo, mga balir, mga ganun.
Kasi, balita ko, di ba, dito, kasali rin dito yung, what you call this team? Yung Onyx.
Ay, oo.
Si My Venus.
Nakita
ko, nilabas niya yung mga favorite hero niya. Grabe, puro Philippines.
Nako, grabe
Paano
dito.
pa yan pag kunwari EVOS SG, iba pang mga bansa?
Lalo na.
Makakita tayo dito, mga top 1 Malaysia.
Pwede. Mga top 1 Malaysia. Yung tipong pagka nakita mo,
grabe.
top 1 Malaysia to. Parang ang sakit sa ulo kalaban nito. Ano kayang rotation na mapapakita nito?
Napaisip lang ako, meron kaya rank na world na?
Ay, siguro yung
top 1 world.
Mga ganun, mga top 1 Philippines
Grabe,
na di ba? Pero solid yung mga magiging laban natin ngayon.
Kaya nga, excited na ako
Tama ka naman, isipin mo, RRQ agad. And EVOS. Talaga namang maraming fans tong dalawang team na to. And kakaiba to, maglaro. Ito si Lemon, isa to sa mga kinikilala talaga na Mage God. Lemon talaga, oo.
Grabe. So kung Mage player kayo, tutukan nyo itong
Si Lemon.
maigi.
Si Lemon, guys.
Si Lemon.
Tutukan niya talaga.
So,
And yung ibang teams na rin naman, syempre, marami pa tayong teams na hindi pa rin masyadong nakikita dito sa mga tropa nating Pinoy dyan. Pero ang mahalaga dyan, suportahan natin yung mga teams na maglalaban. Syempre, especially, yung teams natin for the Philippines.
local. Syempre, support. Kumbaga, parang kanta, support OPM. OPM.
Support OPM lang tayo, tol.
Dito.
Oo.
Support ano to? Original Philippine Mlbb.
Yeah. MLB. Dali mo.
OPM pa din.
OPM pa din,
Oo.
OPM pa din. Pero eto, sa November 13 nga pala, dun sa mga fans dyan ng Sunsparks, November 13 ang laban nila.
Uy,
And
abangan nyo.
sa November 14, ang lalaban dito ay ang bracket ng Onyx.
Ay, oo.
So 13 and 14, 13 Sunsparks. So lahat ng mga Pilipino suporta tayo sa laban dito ng Sunsparks. And sa November 14 ang Onyx naman. So grabe.
Supportahan natin yan, no. Yan yung top 2 teams na nagre-represent ng Philippines.
Tama ka naman dyan. So solid dyan. Kakaiba. Yan naman.
Ayan na.
Kita nyo naman sa ating gilid-gilidan dyan
Best of 3 to.
Best of 3.
Yan. So, thank you sa YouTube Gaming for making this possible.
Yes, syempre. And,
Naka-live tayo ngayon sa YouTube. So, i-share nyo na yan, ipakalat nyo na yung live stream natin.
Tama, i-share nyo na yan para makapanood din yung mga kaibigan natin dyan. Syempre, inaabangan to ng lahat. Actually, ng lahat talaga.
Totoo.
Kasi, isipin mo.
Yung iba talagang bumiyahe na pa Malaysia eh.
Oo, di ba?
Kasi ginaganap to sa Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Wow, Kuala Lumpur.
Diba?
Grabe naman.
Ano yan? Ano pa yan? Sa playoffs, yung playoffs nila, gaganapin sa Axiata Arena.
Aksha.
Ayan, November 14 to 17.
Tama ka naman dun. Grabe naman talaga.
Talagang no? Ibang
Kakaiba.
bansa.
Ito na. Oy, ito lang! Ito na!
Ito na yung pinakahihintay natin.
Simula na ang laban, mga kaibigan. Isang buena manong laro
Nako.
para sa ating M1 World.
Ito, yung tunog na to,
Kakaiba.
lagi ko tong naririnig, pero ngayon ko lang, na-feel yung kilabot.
Yung parang,
Yung goosebumps.
parang, oh my gosh, pinapapalisa lang ako,
Dropping face.
nakikita nyo.
And there you go, we have Kufra ban for the side of Evos SG. It's a tank prioritization dito.
Tama
Gusto
ka
nilang
naman.
alisin yung Kufra. Kasi
Para
alam naman natin,
ang
grabe
dami,
yan
ang
eh.
dami, si Kufra kasi, ano yan isa sa mga heroes na ang daming kontra.
Oo.
Kontra niya si Harit. Kontra niya halos lahat kasi pag once na tumalbog na yan,
Ang dami ng
ang dami.
maharangan yan.
Tama ka naman. And
Oo.
dito naman sa kabilang banda, X-Borg ang binan. So grabe naman kasi talaga mangharas ang isang X-Borg. Alam naman
Totoo.
natin yan. Lalo na
Hindi
pag
lang
nag-level 4.
hindi lang haras yung nakakatakot dyan.
Nako.
Na-sustain itself. Lalo kapag nag-pop yung Firaga armor, that
Ay,
seconds
ay, ay.
na hindi mo siya may hit, malaking bagay na yun. Nakakapagpabago yun ng takbo ng laban.
Tsaka yung ano nito yung last insanity nito, ito yung manggigimbal sa mga
Oo,
heroes.
oo.
Ito yung umpisa pa lang, yung tipong pag pumasok siya, out lahat.
Oo.
Out lahat kasi pag tinamaan ka nito, talaga namang masakit sa ulo.
Talagang sabog mo ka dyan.
Talagang
Dito
sabog
pag
ka
may
yan.
umiikot na trumpo,
Oo.
talagang, oy, iwas,
Iwas
takbo
tayo
na.
dyan. Yan, sumasabog pa So, good talaga, high loss. Priority na
Oh,
talaga yan.
meta tank na to.
Tama
Si
ka
Hylos
naman dyan.
ngayon.
So-
Kasi sobrang ganda ng Hylos na to. Lalo pang takas, or pang engage din as well.
Oo.
Using the glorious pathway. So, sobrang ganda niyan lalo for the team.
Tapos may revitalize pa.
Oo.
Di ba? Parang
Oo.
mamamatay ka pa kaya pagka may revitalize ka tapos may glorious
Kaya
pathway
nga
ka.
sobrang ganda ng Hylos talaga ngayon.
Pero
Kaya,
grab.
binan. Sobrang, naalis lahat ng tank dito.
Tanggal lahat ng tank.
Tanggalan ng tank to mga
Kumbaga,
sir.
kumbaga walang invade na mangyayari, walang cut na mangyayari. Tingnan natin kung ano
Tingnan
magiging
natin.
pick dito ng
Pero,
Ibos.
mas exciting to. Maglalabasan yung mga core hero
Yan.
na ang gagamit. Syempre.
Mga top teams
mga
yan.
top teams yan.
M1 yan
Oo.
Kaja dito, ang priority pick talaga.
Oops.
So actually, Kaja, goods din naman lalo na pag nag-level 4 siya.
Mhm.
Samahan mo siya ng mage. Talaga namang, pag nakuha niya, talaga namang patay agad.
Kahit hindi pa ngayon nagle-level 4, ang ganda na yan. Yung si The Ring of Order, yung kakayahan niya na mag-clear ng mabilis ng creep
Totoo.
waves.
Totoo
And
yan. totoo.
pag mas mabilis mo kasi na-clear yung creep wave, rotation agad.
Oo.
And this is a top tournament. M1 to.
Oo.
And makakita tayo ng mga matitinding rotation dito,
Itong
guys.
rotation na to, ito yung tipong pinapangarap na, pangarap ko talaga papasok dito. Pero,
Oo, di ba?
Siyempre, uy, Masha!
Oh,
Masha!
Parang
Parang-
Ito, yung Masha, naramdaman ko na yan eh. Talagang M1 maglalabasan
Feeling
yung
ko
Masha.
din, lalo na yung arrival naman.
Oo, yan,
Diba?
yan.
Nagkakaintindihan tayo.
Kasi looking on to the tournaments and other countries,
Oo.
nagamit yan.
Lalo na yung pagka-arrival. Yung Masha kasi, guys, ito yan eh. Sobrang solid niyan, lalo na kung objective type ka.
Totoo.
Hindi, tapos paikot-ikot ka pa kasi may arrival ka eh. So kahit saan ka pumuntang linya, meron.
Oo, tsaka this game, hindi naman siya puro kills lang eh.
Mhm.
More on objective siya. Kasi kung nakakill ka, wala kang objective.
Yeah, tama.
Wala rin.
Yung Mobile Legends kasi, hindi siya more on kills. More on
Oo.
objective siya. Sabihin natin, lumamang ka sa kills, so, pero yung objective, kailangan yun pa rin. Kasi ang ano nito, kumbaga, in the end of the day, kailangan mabasa mo yung turret.
Totoo. Yun ang pinaka-purpose dito. And using Masha, sobrang bilis niya umatake.
Ay, nako. Pero eto, ang sagot ng EVOS, Granger and Tank.
Oy, maganda.
Pag nag-ultimate, baka mapatay. Pero Granger dito, actually malakas ang Granger, lalo na kung tatama yung death natin niya, yung mga bullets niya. Pero yung sa attack speed niya kasi, kung ilalaban mo siya sa ibang marksman, kung sa damage per second, mas okay carry, Kimi, and Claude, lalo na. Kasi yung ultimate niya, meron ditong blazing duet. Pero tingnan natin kung ano magiging ano. Pero maganda rin naman ang isa.
Pero ito this will be a match up between Granger and Kimi. What are your thoughts dito? Pag naglaban tong dalawang to?
Teka, Granger, Kimi.
Pero-
Kimi, may damage yan. Damage per
may
second yan.
damage,
Damage per
oo.
second yan. Pero kasi, ang Granger, syempre, nakatuto ka, diretso lang eh. Diretso lang. Baril-baril ka lang. Pag tinamaan ka ng bullet niyan,
Ang hapdi.
mahapdi.
Ang hapdi niyan,
Mahapdi
sir.
talaga.
Tsaka ito kumbaga sa likod, mas malikot ng Granger.
Tama.
Kasi ang tagal ng chemical refinement ni Kimi. Ang tagal ng Pero yung dash ni Granger,
Agad-agad dyan.
nako,
Oo,
mala.
saglit lang.
I-represent niyan
Saka yung
yung
ultimate niya, di ba nakakapag-dash siya sa ultimate niya eh.
Oo.
Every time na nag-ultimate siya.
So, pero pagka naprotekta ng maigi tong Kimi,
Your
rin,
team
gana
is
rin to,
banned.
gana yung Kimi.
Tama ka naman dito. Pero eto na nga.
Ayan na.
Bad
Ano na tayo?
Lunox.
Sa ating second banning phase, which is Lunox. We can be seeing Lunox dito. Kasi wala pang mage sa side ng RRQ. So they're banning out Lunox here. Pero maraming mage na open. I think, baka mamaya respect ban or what?
Respect ba na rin to kasi 90% dito si Lemon, pero hindi natin makikita maglalaro si Lemon dito.
Wala nga siya dito.
Si Vince, si Shin, si Liam, si Ian Jago, tsaka si Tuto.
So, sino kaya? Mage dito and support kulang ng RRQ. Sino kaya kukunin nila?
Siguro sa tank, it will be better if they pick Lolita para walang cancel dito or walang pangontra dito kay Lolita.
Uy,
Diba?
ang ganda na itong Lolita nga. Tulad nga ng sinabi mo, para walang pangontra sa Kimi. Kasi alam naman natin kapag
Shield, lalo na pag
tinaas
level
yung
1.
shield niyan,
Oo.
nakakainis eh. Kasi
Kakaiba
pa-
yan.
yung damage mo.
Ayun yung tank na may damage na mas malaki pa. Pagka, di ba kunyari, Kimi siya.
Oo.
Kimi tapos Lolita. Pag sinild niya yun, tapos binato niya, yung
nga,
damage kakaiba kahit
talagang
level 1, di ba?
binalik sa'yo yung sakit.
Binalik sa'yo,
Sobra-
doble
sobrang
pa.
sakit, oo.
Kakaiba naman
Tsaka ito
talaga.
pa, maganda rin tong Lolita, lalo may Granger sa side ng EVOS SG. Yung mga politas na sinasabi mo kaninang masakit.
Pwedeng sanggiin.
Pwedeng
sanggiin.
sanggain.
Pwede,
Walang
pwede.
sakit-sakit. Basta merong
Basta merong taga-sanggi
salag,
kung may
oo.
taga-support ka dito. So, uy, Balir.
Oy, Balir.
Merong
No.
pang tulak talaga.
This hero. Sobrang ganda ng Balir Ano siya, ginagamit din siya as a support din or as a utility.
Tama.
Kasi using the stunts. Pero we can see here na we have Esmeralda and Balir. So maybe
Paano kaya ito magiging... Kasi kung nakikita natin dito sa EVOS, meron silang 3, sabihin na natin 3 mage.
oo.
3 mage dito kasi madalas pinimage na rin to si Gacha kasi mas
Si Gacha,
masakit talaga.
oo.
Pero tignan natin ang magiging sagot.
Ito yung pinaka-inaabangan ng lahat eh. Kasi we can see here teams from different countries. Ayan, kung yung ganyang lineup din yung nakikita sa mga rank game nyo. Ngayon,
Ngayon,
ito na.
makikita nyo na.
May matututunan tayo
Tingnan
dito,
natin,
guys.
oh. Tingnan
Oo.
natin. Tsaka kung ano nga ba yung magiging setup dito nung 3 mage setup ng EVOS. Pero
Oo.
board.
Pero ito inisip ko. Pwedeng maging support dito, Valir and Kaja, then Esmeralda, Tamus, Granger. Sila nang bahala sa mga lanings
Oo,
dyan.
pero tignan, ay, kala ko revitalize siya. Pero dito naman, goods ang Akai, Lolita, dito kung sakasakali
Oo.
man.
Kasi
Pagka tinamaan ng
solid
ultimate,
yung mga kakunatan dito ng RRQ.
Oo.
Pero-
Kasi may talaga, two tank speed talaga.
Oo, yun.
So,
Sanggain!
Pwede.
Walang sa...
So that kind of puts you in a control situation. She really has to be efficient with a lot of that wave pushing.
That's right, and of course they really gotta find a way to actually stop Masha before she even snowballs into that late game monster. While Tamas is gonna be doing exactly the same in that sort of sense, but at least Tamas does have a little bit of that mobility to escape in that sort of situation. And we're also thinking about all these sort of the spells that all these professional players will be pulling up. You talk about Revitalize, of course there's a lot going on with those teleport match, but now, of course, you guys are excited. So are we, as we'll hit into our very first matchup, Evo Singapore versus RRQ.
Smash them.
Now, looking at the lane assignments, it's looking pretty standard for now. Masha is going to be the top side, and Thamos should meet them. Very basic fan. They're trying to make sure, okay, no early invades, no shenanigans like this. And JPL, he just needs to keep control over the wave, put enough harassment in to kind of force them into situations where it's like, okay, you can't go for the rotation, and I won't let you because I have vision.
That's right, and now we're looking at Tuturu already clearing out the wave from the bottom side, and both sides are playing it relatively safely. They're not really going in for those aggressive invades that we've already seen them pretty well known for. But speaking of that, EVO's Esports, they're starting things off pretty much on a high tempo over on the top side. Sin will be facing off against Soul. Oh, look at that burst damage. It merely forces some moves, and RQ Sin is forced to pull off that flicker.
Yeah, really, really quick. It's really interesting what RRQ did here. They basically use Masha as a meat shield so that the tank as well as the mage doesn't take a lot of damage. In response, really well done here. Oh, the rest of the team's actually going on to... Bin is actually in quite a bit of trouble. He's taking quite a lot, but they have to kind of peel back. He's so little too late. JPL has to pull back quickly. Dashes right on out of there. I Am Jungle finally responds in time. He is level 4. Oh dear, Bambi, not going to catch anybody with a Star Moonfall. They're going to back away.
Oh, they really have to back up. Look at them. They're only level 2, and I Am Jungle is going to fight back in a little bit more. So possibly going to escape, and he's going to be forced with that flicker as that bubble almost hits him right behind him. And now JPL. I really like the name change, so of course it confuses a little bit right there. But now look at the goal standings here. It's only about 200 gold in favor of RRQ.
Huh. Looks like there's only one arrival in this game. Okay, pretty interesting, pretty interesting. But yeah, I think Soul has done a really good job there controlling that top side, making sure Masha doesn't get too ahead and forcing out battle spells because she isn't managing that health total.
That's right. Of course, we've seen a lot of arrivals being played out in the previous matches in the MPL, but now starting off with only one here is still going to be pretty much vital, but we're seeing some challenges inside of the turtle pit here, as this will be first blood in the hands of RRQ, as the guard will be able to take one down. But Liam already on the forefront here, forces the flicker away from Ace, and now JPL has his Divine Judgment, but what can he do when he's all alone?
Yeah, there's just no follow-up right now. He can't really go in. A great catch coming in from RRQ, especially nailing a prior. Target like Oh Dear Bambi on that Esmeralda. Nicely done. Like, Oh Dear Bambi definitely disrespected a little walking up there.
Oh yes, indeed. And now we're seeing JPL, of course, just checking on all these brush, making sure that every single one of these corners are going to be checked instead of getting themselves into his trouble. But look at JPL, he was forced the Divine Judgment. That's an easy kill for EVO's SG.
Great setup. I mean, I don't know whether or not I think Potato should have been able to land the ultimate there without any issues, but you know, just in case, get a Divine Judgment just to add a little bit more salt to the wound.
Oh, that's right. And of course, giving the kill over on the Granger is going to be pretty much vital. But look at Vin, he's walking into a trap, but instead JPL almost get caught as well. Here comes the backup coming from Liam as well, trying to get in with that Hurricane Dash, hitting him across the wall, pushing it into his Tuturu as well, and this will be yet another kill falling in the hands of Tuturu.
Great plays coming in from RRQ. That EVO's Esports is in a little bit of trouble. They are giving a little bit too much space for RRQ to kind of play with here. They're putting themselves very vulnerable. Now ball lane, Numenor Blast is already put. Ace is in trouble, gets locked down instantaneously. The moment Ayajago has his ultimate, he will go for another kill. Granger goes down too, as the rest of RRQ backs away. What a clean dive.
did you just see all 3 of these ultimates being utilized at the same time? And I just love how RRQ is sieging right now. And immediately, they secure yet another one. He should not even be anywhere close as JPL will falter. But back into the top lane here. Soul versus Sin.
Yeah, he's doing a great job maintaining Masha's life at, you know, that 1 bar instead of maximum of 3, just to make sure that he's always in threat for his life. If he walks up too far, he's going to get punished. But
That's
again,
right.
RRQ, the rest of the
name. But top side, it might just be a flank coming from RRQ.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. RQ is just keeping tabs on exactly where they are, making sure they don't have any options. They go for the initial stun here, switching over to Sin. He has to back away while they invade. I'm not sure whether they stole away the buff, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But Sin, he's just trying to maintain his space, and the rest of EVOS is making sure he is at 1 life bar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Sin should have no issues at all to deal with these members, but when the Divine Judgment hits, it might just spell doom for them. But of course, Vin here will be able to take the second tower for RRQ.
Yeah, they make a close call. And I think if I was in EVO's position, the rotations coming in from RRQ is pretty quick. So they preemptively send someone else to the top side, making sure they can kind of go for to protect that side of the map. They end up losing mid-turret in response, so I guess that might have not been the best play just yet. But I mean, EVO's Esports SG, they need to find something here. Masha is going to have a field day with this amount of pressure that RRQ is putting.
Oh, that's right. But look at Bean, though, right in smack in the middle, gets pulled with the Divine Judgment. Of course, this will be that 1 kill being secured here for the side of EVOS. And oh dear, Bambi, of course, the captain of EVOS is trying to do as much as he can to push themselves ahead with a lead. But it will still be a lead in the hands of RRQ for now.
Yeah, sacrificing Lolita. Masha just got a free push, breaking tier 2 easily with a single wave. You have to give her respect. Oh, wait, Liam, he's going for the arrival. Where is he going? To the top side of the map to kind of defend it and get a little bit more damage into that turret. But I think the rest of the team just wants to keep control over this turtle.
Oh, yeah. I felt like it was an unnecessary arrival, if you really want to ask me in that sort of sense. We are having a one-on-one battle inside the jungle here as Soul goes in for the chase. And Sin is just running away, and that will be a flicker here committed by Soul. But instead, he gets placed around, and now that kill will definitely be in the hands of Soul.
Nicely done. I mean, EVOS, as she realized that, okay, their 4 is a lot stronger. We can only do so much here. We're not going to give Turtle away. We're going to deal with your other win condition, making sure that, oh no, JPL might be in trouble. He takes a lot of damage from that shark, but they don't capitalize on it just yet. I don't think Gordon has his ultimate. He used it earlier in the mid lane, so they don't have that kill pressure anymore.
Oh, that's right. And of course, for EVOS Esports, they are just making sure that they stay as a unit over on the mid side as well. And they are just trying to raid inside. And look at Soul. He invaded the wrong territory, and he gets caught out. I felt like that should not happen at all, especially in a World Championship sort of phase here where, you know, you are not really facing against mid-tier teams. These are top-tier teams from all over the world, and RRQ will punish them for their mistakes.
Exactly. These guys, I mean, again, you mentioned top-tier teams. You cannot disrespect them. Now, I think they're just trying to keep pace with RRQ as of right now. Oh, so close to dying here. Maximum charge. Is it going to land?
Oh,
just short.
Land.
Just short. My goodness.
Oh, that was really close. But now RRQ will claim yet another tower on the top side as well, looking for JPL. But there's nothing much that EVO's SG can do but to fall back. Now the next aim will possibly be the mid lane as well, as we see Vin already on the forefront here. Soul needs to make a move, but that Lolita is not allowing any members to go past.
They need to make something happen here. The play can't be made. Ace can't seem to get into the fight without that Numenor boss just completely shutting him off. So they're looking for an opportunity to go in here. Oh, this is a little sketchy coming in from Soul as well as Bambi here, but it doesn't look like RQ want to pounce on it just yet. They're just kind of waiting for a mistake to be made by EVOS first.
Yeah, they have absolute control inside the jungle, and now we're looking at Vin here bringing one of these members to 50%. JPL have to fall back, and here comes Bambi trying to steal the buff away. And of course, Liam here will be eyeing out if whether or not will they be opposite. And if they do cross the line, that will be a Hurricane Dance ready to blow them back in towards the territories of RRQ.
Queen's wings bought by Soul. Sin just got his corrosive sight, so there is no running from him, but he will be able to solo every objective. But a mid-fight actually breaks out. Even Esports is trying to turn this around, but they can't. They're just locked into place. Soul goes down as well. They knew they needed to defend Lord, but oh dear Bambi, he's kind of chilling out right here. Sin's in trouble. The rest of the team calls it, collapses straight on top of him. Let's have a replay one more time.
And look at them go. RRQ had the perfect setup, and of course, just in the blink of an eye, we're seeing even the Lord falling in the hands of RRQ. What a clean performance that we're seeing from RRQ so far, and slowly it might just touch that 10k goal lead mark.
Yeah, it's not looking good for EVOS SG here. They don't exactly have a lot of playmakers in their sides besides JPL, and right now, he's being shut down very hard. Like, he's getting hit by a lot of abilities that should not be landing.
This is what I was talking about when we started the draft, and I talked about the side of EVOS SG not really having a reliable tank if they do fall in the early phase of the game, and now they're dealing with the same trouble, and the Lord is already knocking on their doors, trying to crush the mid lane tower, and RRQ is just waiting for another viable mistake. But look at Jalpiel though, he's in position, he's still waiting, and oh, that Gord! Oh my goodness, he gets caught out!
Ooh, they pull backwards. Good disengage. Good disengage. He still had the flicker, but now they're still going to get an inhibitor turret on the top side of the map. They're playing it slow, but RRQ know that they are in control. They can take one more inhibitor down, and yes, they do. They're breaking everything. They're slowly collapsing down onto EVOS SG's economy.
That's right, and of course, we have Akai also buying that immortality, which means it's going to be even harder for the members of EVOS, but look at that go. Vin's gonna go in with the Numinous Blast, catching over onto 3 members with a flicker as well. Hurricane Dance playing onto the face, and now RRQ, they're crashing right in, and Odir Mambi almost falling out, and look at EVOS members all in the disarray. Minutes are still in the front, but RRQ does not even want to make any sort of a mistake at all.
Yep, this is a killing blow here. The Death Timers, they're going to be able to respawn. Oh dear Bambi, he survived the last onslaught. He needs to clear top side. But again, minions are pushing in. Tuturu, he's going to be walking on it. There's nothing they can do. I am Joggle, does not miss. His aim is true, and he cuts down the rest of the members of EVOS Esports SG. They are looking to end this. Oh, ace.
Oh my goodness, what a clean game one that we're seeing here from Rex, Regum, Keon. And now, game 1 already in the bag for RRQ. Indonesia here showing them why they are the most respected region of all the other teams across the board. And of course, EVOS Esports here having that first defeat of the day. Of course, a sour taste and towards the early mornings right here.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that they could still find a way to come back, because this is, after all, a best of 5.
Yeah, I definitely agree here. I think for the most part, you have to keep in mind that EVOS SG, they're dealing with Indonesia, and they are just, right now, they look like they're on a completely different level. They really were shut down. Valir was basically there just to wave clear. He didn't really get a lot of opportunity to roam around too much. And more importantly, I think the control coming in from RRQ was pretty devastating. They just cut off rotational paths, made sure they controlled the river line. They just didn't let them play the game like they wanted to.
I totally would say that all these members of EVOS Esports look like they were not really all too ready for what's in store for them. As we saw, a couple of all these members get caught out in between. Of course, MVP here will definitely be Tuturu. He has not fallen a single time. Same goes to Arm Juggle, coming pretty close a second if you were to ask me as well. But members of EVOS, I felt like their strength is in team fights, and they can't really seem to really commit to doing exactly just that.
And see, that's the thing. They don't have, they've got linear playmakers. JPL, you give him something like Cho, he has more options to attack the team in different areas. But when you have something like Kaja, just goes in, locks one person, pulls back out. It gives opportunity for the rest of the team to kind of collapse on them. But let's look at the replays here for, throughout the game. What do you think that RRQ did right?
Well, I really liked this sort of invade over on the bottom side where they just came crashing in. Of course, it became a 1v1 battle between Sin as well. So really great commitment, but when they were committed to that, they lost out the turtle. And that sort of fight happening inside the jungle was another devastating blow towards EVO's SG.
Yeah, I think overall they were just controlling the map a little too well. The early game didn't exactly go too well, especially with I Am Jago getting those early pickups with that stun, which surprisingly he's been landing. It's not a difficult ability to sidestep, but the trajectory can be confusing, and the bounces, those bounces can be so frustrating.
Oh, yes, indeed. And look at how well Finn was actually opening up the doors for every single one of these members of RQ
Yes.
to crash right in. And I really got to give him that credit because he definitely was hitting every single battle with some clear, precise ultimate with that Lewis Blast catching over multiple members. And of course, with that being said, this gives RQ that
Yeah.
edge to take game one in their hands.
I think more importantly, we have to kind of put the spotlight on Masha here because she's putting a lot of pressure. And even though like Thamos is a bad matchup and she's put the basically one health bar throughout the entirety of the fight, not a lot of heroes can do what Masha does, which, I just took a really bad trade. I just walk away at a tap of a button. I get an entire bar back, walk back into lane like nothing ever happened.
That's right, and this is that sort of annoyance that
Yeah.
EVO Singapore has to deal with, and they were torn apart in the sort of sense that they don't really know how exactly to deal with that sort of split push as well, or even to actually commit to a fight. Should you take down Masha first, or
That's
should you
true.
even find a way to get anywhere close to that core, or even the Kimi?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. They had a really difficult wall. They had great ways of disengage. The Hurricane Dance not necessarily needed to be a way to make a play, but more importantly, that Numenon Blast, it's the same thing as the Hurricane Dance, where it can be used offensively and defensively to either engage or disengage from team fights.
That's right, and of course, I really like the Akai. He is really that sort of pick that they really needed in that sort of sense. And at first, I was like thinking, why was it the high priority on towards Akai? And once they finally secured the tank as well as the fighter, they don't really have anything else to worry about. They could still opt for so many of the options of the mages, and I felt like, of course, having the Akai is definitely that sort of guard protection for them if any one of all these threats were to come from EVO's SG.
Yeah, especially when you have Lolita as well. They're both kind of interchangeable, and they do such a good job, especially with picks with their own different utility. I think overall, Masha, really difficult to deal with, especially from the Indonesian side. But we're just going to have to see how EVOS kind of wants to adapt to this situation. They're going to be put into the red side, and maybe they have something else in store to deal with RRQ this time.
That's right, of course. We're going to be heading into its game number 2 shortly. And whether or not EVOS SG has any clue to actually counter that sort of power that RRQ has. And of course, maybe it was just some pretty much a warm-up for the EVOS SG side. And we've seen them, of course, not really losing huge series coming to MPL and YSG. But some couple of bad days, we see them dropping out at least
For
a
sure.
single game.
For sure.
Yeah.
I expect them, if they make it into the playoffs, to be playing at their best. The question is, are they going to show a good enough of a performance in Group A alone to get them out of there? And I mean, right now, it's not looking too good, but it's fine. It's just the first series of the day. Again, as you mentioned, warming up, got to stretch out those fingers a little bit more before they go back into it here. And I think they need to at least like grab a win off of RRQ just to boost morale.
That's right, and of course, that is just the beginning of the M1, and we are still having so many of these games to unfold in the later stages of the day. And well, this is definitely going to be a long hurdle for many of these teams. And of course, we'd like to also thank our organizers as well as sponsors for making all of this possible. Of course, starting off this whole entirety of the M1 World Championship is presented by Moonton, and we're live streaming on YouTube Gaming, and our official sponsors are Mlbb.
Yeah. Oh, man. So far, tournament's been going smoothly. Like, no technical issues, and that's just great because that means more and more action for you guys. And more importantly, I think coming into this game, I was giving you a thought when you were doing the housekeeping that The real question here is whether or not on the red side, does EVOS Esports want to pick up something like the Masha for themselves? We've seen Soul play it a couple of times, not too well in the MPL, but since then he's got a lot of time to actually get some good practice on it. Might be able to bring it out this time round, not so sure. Any thoughts?
Well, I do think that that's going to be a great pick, but let's find out as we head in towards match 2 between two of these titans. Now, like you said, RRQ will be headed into the blue side, while EVOS SG on the red. Now, it's Marsha being banned away by RRQ instead.
Yeah, I think RRQ definitely see the power of the Masha. Don't want to deal with it because again, it pries your team a little bit too hard. Does a really good job at split pushing compared to like something like a Hayabusa, but Grok going to be banned off for the side of EVOS Esports. Overall, just a great hero.
Oh yes, indeed, and no matter how many nerfs and hits that he takes, Grok is still one solid rock that cannot be moved away from the meta. And now heading in towards the final 2 bans here, I would still say that there's going to be a little bit more on that priority on those tanks, and I'm not sure whether if they would actually remove Kaya, but Xborg is definitely one great option because we've seen Soul performing so well in those grand final runs in the MPL and MySG.
Yeah, and that's just going to revert him back into Thamos depending on what the matchup is. But again, EVOS Esports, they're going to have a couple of options coming into the first phase here. They're really thinking about this one. They could go for, again, lock out the Kufra, or maybe just, you know, ban out the Kaya this time round, just to ensure that they don't have something that sets up fights really well.
Now, heading in towards that first pickup here, I do believe that RRQ will definitely have a lot of all these sort of great pickups here, and it will still be the Kaya as that priority. And what do you feel like both teams have been prioritizing on this sort of pickup? Of course, we talk about Divine Judgment, but other than that, I feel Kaya, of course, if she cannot get those great pickups in this early stages, then it will be pretty tough in towards the late game when all these items will be stacked against Kaya.
Agreed. I definitely agree here. I think it's going to be Hylos and maybe even arguably Cho just to kind of flex out the pick. Tough to say, but yeah, I do agree with you that she does kind of it is a little lackluster in comparison to like the strong. I wouldn't say the strongest, but I would say very versatile Cho. She is one-dimensional, goes in, locks somebody, pulls them out, that sort of thing. But again, I think it's tough to say. Ooh, instead of Cho, they're actually going for the Akai. It looks like they want to have a playmaker and a dedicated tank.
That's right, and of course, the first game we've already seen Hylos being banned away, and this time around, once it's being left open, they take any chances that they can get. So, 2 really solid frontliners already being secured. Now, RQ's response, what are they going to go for? I don't really think that things like Mentor will even be in the picture because how easily it could be pushed away by the Hurricane Dance. Maybe something like, I don't know, a support like Diggy would be pretty much great, but instead, they're still prioritizing on that Kimmy pickup. So RQ will still have a couple of seconds to think about, and they steal the Tamas away from the EVOS SG.
He's not going to have I mean, Soul's not going to have a lot of options to play left, and that might force him into going into Hayabusa, which isn't too great because for the first 6 minutes of the game, you're just going to get oppressed by Thamos for the most part.
Oh yes, I would say that this is definitely going to be a huge challenge for EVOS Esports, and we're looking at Ace here, trying to close things off. Should he even go in for that marksman pickup here? Because previously we've seen that Granger pick, and it was dealing with, of course, the Kimmy as well, but Kimmy has definitely had a lot more impact, but this bottom pickup is definitely something that's pretty much piqued my interest here, because that will possibly negate certain picks like Esmeralda to come into play.
Yeah. I mean, oh man, Badang is really interesting. He's in a really interesting place because he scales obnoxiously well now with his current item build. They fixed him and put him in a weird place where he kind of does a lot of things, but it's all solely dependent on how much of a lead he gets into the early game. Because again, he needs 2 items before he really pops off, and before then, his ultimate isn't going to be enough to one-shot somebody, but it's going to get real close.
That's right, the Frisk Crack will possibly deal that sort of on-hit effect as well, so that's definitely something to actually look after if they were to actually commit in towards that sort of fight. So heading in towards mid to late game, that's where EVO Singapore definitely shines. But now, going in towards the very final band here, I'm not too sure what should they actually take out from RRQ side, but they will opt to actually
Your
remove
team
Lolita
is
as
picking.
well. That sort of core tank still left available.
Yep. More
Chang'e.
importantly, setting up for the Chang'e perfectly.
Oh
Ooh.
man, totally forgot about that as well. So, of course, it doesn't make sense for Evos to still go in for that Lolita as well. Like,
Yeah.
they've already got so many melee pickups right there. So, if they were to actually take up more ranges, definitely would be perfect. Now, RRQ's turn for the fiery final 2 picks to complete the matchup. And I don't know, the boys from Evos SG are looking a little bit more tense than usual.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's just you know jet lag or whether they're just like nervous to be playing so early in the day. But
Pretty sure there's no jet lag though, because we play on that sort of same time zone.
I'm trying to give him an out here. I'm trying to give him an out. Oh, come on, man. Come
All
on,
right,
man.
let's cut him some slack in that sort of sense. But Baxia though, we're gonna see our very
Your
first
team is
Baxia
picking.
in M1. So this is definitely gonna be pretty much exciting. Of course, there's gonna be the great sort of chase coming in from Tsuru, heading all over the map. And if he does get one good catch on towards members like the Chonger, then that will be definitely something that will be a great pickup for RRQ.
Yeah, I mean Baxia overall, that Totoris Poissons is just a great ability. I kind of feel I'm kind of torn because it's like to me it's like a Johnson ultimate, except you have more angles to kind of engage. You can get a good back flank if you have the options, but overall I haven't